Hello again, it's me, and that's also the name of the movie, as today, at the channel point's request of Steven, we're going to review Hello Again, released in 2017. So Hello Again is a musical which was based off an actual musical which was released in 1993, which was in turn based off a play released in 1897. The film is split into 10 different stories of 10 different lovers in 10 different time periods that eventually all converge into one. It had a limited release in the United States, so there's not any box office numbers. As far as reviews go, there's not really any main critic reviews either, but it has a 5 out of 10 on IMDb and a 27% on Rotten Tomatoes. And let me start by saying this is going to be an interesting edit job by me, because even though there's no explicit nudity aside from some man-ass, my god, this film is basically softcore porn. Like, half this movie's runtime, probably more, is just softcore porn. And a lot of this singing was not very good, neither were the lyrics, which we're about to talk about in a second. But was the movie any good? Well, let's talk about that right now, as we review Hello Again, released in 2017. So our film begins in New York City in 1901, where a prostitute seduces a soldier. She is not a great singer, and she's pretty off-key, and this is going to be a theme throughout the whole movie. A lot of the people in this movie have really good voices, but pretty much all the songs are bad. I want to say that just now, and it's mainly because of the writing. It's very strange. At points, a lot of times they're singing at points where they really don't need to sing, and the songs themselves are just weird. I attribute what went wrong with this movie a lot to bad writing. A lot of them can sing, except for this lady. She cannot. Anyway, they have sex, and she asks for a dime even though she previously said it was free, so he says nah. Not only that, but he steals her fucking brooch. That's pretty fucked up. We now jump to 1944, where a soldier is attending a dance party in an underground canteen. He meets a nurse inside the canteen and seduces her to sleep with him. Also want to state that unfortunately he does not have a great voice here. Well, his voice is fine, but he's really off-key. Like, he's really off-key. And they end up fucking in a car, which is going to be a running theme in this movie, and then she asks him to walk her home, and he's like, sure, after I get a beer, and then he leaves her in the rain. We now go to 1967, where a nurse has been hired to take care of an awkward college boy who hurt his ankle playing tennis. She ends up seducing him and tying him up on a bed, and guess what? They have sex. Shocker. Their joint musical number together is probably the worst one in the whole movie. There's a point where he takes a drink of water and then just says yum, which almost made me turn this off. And after she fucks him, he's like, oh well, guess I don't need a nurse anymore, guess you're fired. And she's like, okay, and she leaves, but does not untie him. We now go back to 1929, where another college boy is meeting up with a married woman he's dating in a movie theater. She starts sucking him off in the movie theater, and this is the funniest part of the whole movie, because he's literally doing a musical number while he's getting a blowjob about how he can't get an erection because he was only attracted to her over the fact that she was someone that he couldn't have, but now that he has her, he can't get it up. She tries to leave, but he's able to convince her that he does love her, and then they go back in the movie theater, and she sucks him off again, and this time he climaxes. She wants to meet him again soon, but he's pretty vague about when they'll do it next, and he leaves. We now go to 1956, where a married couple are going to go out to an opera for their first wedding anniversary. The wife doesn't seem very happy though, however, as she feels like her husband doesn't pay attention to her sexually anymore. And sure enough, when she tries to seduce him, he rebukes her, and she goes and has a bath instead. And during that bath, she sings a song about a greaser named Tom, who she met on the same day that she met her husband, and wonders what her life would have been like if she had chose Tom instead. We now jump back to 1912, aboard the SS Titanic, where a man has taken a young servant upon the Titanic as his gay lover. He's a married man, but his wife has not made the trip with him. Someone then knocks on the door, and oh no, the ship is sinking. Damn, bad luck there. But he gets a life jacket, which he hides from the servant, and then they have passionate sex. Also, didn't know it was that easy to have gay sex in Missionary, but I guess I'm learning a lot from this movie. And afterwards, he's like, oh yeah, the ship is sinking, you better go. And the servant's pissed, and he runs away, which has got to be difficult considering he just got his hole plowed, while the husband chooses to stay in his room and die there. It's the 70s time, and we go to a 1970s Hollywood nightclub, where an aspiring filmmaker meets a beautiful young man. The young twink doesn't have much interest in him at first, but then he lies to him, saying that he's working on a script for Paul Newman. They go back to the filmmaker's apartment and have very passionate sex, like by far the most passionate sex of this whole movie. They were fucking. And afterwards, the twink sings about his daddy issues while the filmmaker imagines them married together. But then the sexy young man's like, wait a minute, you don't actually work for Paul Newman, and then he leaves, and that's the end of that. Okay, fuck it, now let's go to 2002, where a singer is looking to make the transition into pop music. She doesn't like the song her producers lined up for her, however, as she doesn't like the lyrics or the fact that it's heavily auto-tuned. Turns out that producer is also her ex-boyfriend, and they start having relationship issues again. She's afraid of failing with this new song, but he boosts her confidence and they have sex in a recording studio while her shitty music video plays in the background. Afterwards, she wants him to tell her that he loves her, but he's like, no, you broke up with me, remember? Fuck you, and he just leaves. And now to 1989, where a senator and her publicist are engaged in a secret lesbian relationship. The senator's also running for president, and as they have sex simultaneously, there's another scene where the publicist has a fundraiser for her, which is very successful. Afterwards, the publicist tries to make dinner plans, but the senator kind of rebukes her and then just leaves. And finally, we go to 2012, where a senator visits a whorehouse where she speaks to a masked male prostitute through a two-way camera. She then has a dream that she had sex with him, even though she could just have sex with him. He's a fucking prostitute. Afterwards, she goes for a walk on the city, and then we see all the characters from throughout the movie, and then she sees the prostitute, and then the movie ends. What a great way to end a movie, with a recap of the movie that I just watched. So again, this was requested by Steven, and I said this in Discord, but I'll say it again here. Steven, buddy, if you're... I kind of really hope this was a rib, because if you're a legit fan of this movie, I'm really sorry, but this movie was fucking terrible. Like, again, for starters, it was just softcore porn, but the softcore made it worse. There weren't even any boobs. Like, you could at least throw some boobs at me or something, but no. There was just a bunch of softcore sex, and again, the songs were so bad. Like, it's not that even that everybody had bad voices. Some of them did, but some of them had really good voices, and some of them could carry a tune. But, like, I think the voices actually progressively got better as the movie went on, interestingly enough. But all the songs were bad. It was just the screenplay. I'm sorry to Corey Kuruckelberg that wrote the screenplay, but it was really bad. I wonder if the actual musical, the Broadway musical, was this bad. I wouldn't think so. But the screenplay is what really did this movie in. It was just very poorly written. And I hate to be so harsh, but maybe don't do a musical if you don't know how to do a musical. But yeah, I really wish this could have been better. I mean, I'm sure everyone who acted on this movie, actors for this film, by the way, included Sam Underwood, Nolan Gerald Funk, Jenna Ursherowitz, Al Calderon, Ruma Willis, T.R. Knight, Tyler Blackburn, Cheyenne Jackson, Audra McDonald, and Martha Plimpton. I'm sorry. I'm sure they did their best, and a lot of them did, and I think a lot of them were put into poor situations because they tried to sing when they really couldn't carry a tune. I don't think it was any of their fault. I don't even think the acting was necessarily bad. The acting itself was fine. It was more just the music and the screenplay in general that I'd blame for this film. I don't think it was the actor or actress's fault at all. But yeah, in conclusion, would not recommend this one. It's kind of a niche film, so you'd probably have a hard time finding it anyway. But if you do, maybe don't. But that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to do it for my review of Hello Again, released in 2017. Thank you, Steven, for using your points on this. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, be sure to leave it a like. If you want to follow any of my social media links, they're all in the video description down below, as well as the names of all my patrons. Thank you guys for supporting me and my channels. I appreciate you guys. With all that being said, though, my name is Noah Taff. This has been my review of Hello Again, released in 2017, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.